Hey.
Ah! I was on my phone. I was deep in Twitter.
Yeah, you look pretty serious. Welcome back to the live chat. I hope the sound is working now. It should be. I think I fixed it right before we got started. Thank you to Stephen Fate for the heads up on that. I saw that. Um, and let us know if like the sound is okay throughout the stream. Let us know if Jessi starts like echoing or like you can't hear me or something because we have had some audio difficulties in the past a little bit, and we're usually able to fix them. We just need to know that they're happening so that I can fix them real quick. But anyways, welcome to the stream. This is me and Jessi. We're gonna talk XFL. We're gonna talk the revival, whole bunch of stuff. Before we get started, let everyone know how you're doing, Jessi.
Doing good, hanging in there. Quarantine day 7,552. I think we're all doing it the best we can. Just chilling. I'm happy to announce that I am potentially Kenny Omega's new best friend. He liked my tweet about being his best friend. So it's very cryptic, but I am happy to get started in my journey to be Kenny Omega's best friend.
All right, and for those of you who may not know what she's talking about, I'm gonna try to find that on Twitter real quick. I did see
Yeah.
something about that earlier. Oh, here's like you have like a whole video for it. It looks like this
Yeah.
here.
It's my audition to be his best friend.
Nice.
Then my cat is in there. I talk about Canada. I talk about video games. That was play. Yes, but Kenny Omega has liked it.
So he liked this tweet here.
Yes, he did. According to the
You gotta
like,
find him. What do you like, Kenny? Give you a big shout out.
if you go to his like tweets, it should be on there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it better be. He better
it
not
better
unlike
be.
it. I'll
We're
die.
trying to
I'll
we're trying to give you a big shout out over here, Kenny. Come on.
right.
Come on, where you at,
Come
man?
on, man.
Kenny Omega.
You don't follow Kenny Omega. Oh, you do. Okay.
Kenny Omega Man. Oh yeah, I've got to follow Kenny. There we go.
Ah! Sorry.
Shout out Kenny Omega coming through for Jessi the Buckeye on Twitter.
I guess people snitch tagged him in it, which I guess it's not really a snitch tag if it's a compliment. But I was a little embarrassed, but now I'm not. I'm a little embarrassed just because he's so quiet and quaint. And just
Yeah.
the best. So, yeah. But how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I can't really complain. Uh, kind of same old, same old. Doing a lot of video editing. Shout out to MMA on Point, which is my full time job. So I do a lot of video editing with those guys. If you like MMA, definitely check the channel out. We're still pumping out as much We're actually pumping out more content than we ever have between the main channel, the extras channel, and the Brazilian channel we have. So it's like I'm getting more work than ever right now, which is crazy because everyone's at home. They're watching YouTube and whatnot, which is a big reason why we're doing the live chat. So really, not much has changed. It's been kind of nuts. It's been nuts seeing everything around me changing so much, but my day to day is pretty similar considering I already work from home. I know a lot of people are like adjusting to doing that right now, but I've been doing it for a while, so it's like it's just really bizarre from my perspective because like not much has changed other than outside. I do see a lot more people walking around outside and stuff, which
Yeah.
I think once this whole pandemic stuff is over, I hope that sticks. Like I hope we see
Yeah.
people outside. I see a lot of kids running around playing outside, just like families together doing stuff. So I have seen like that kind of positive happening. If you can take any silver lining out of the whole situation, but
Yeah. Sorry if I made a face. My stomach made a weird noise.
I didn't even see that.
But yeah, I agree. I really hope that this whole thing gives people like perspective on like things that they used to take for granted. Because that kind of happened with me when I went into inpatient treatment for my eating disorder. Like I took so many things for granted that I don't anymore. Like I'll never forget I was like trapped. You're literally trapped. You cannot leave. You can't leave. You can't like if you have a feeding tube like I did, you can't go outside. So I would just look out my window and I would see like sometimes I would see like a car go by and I'd be like, man, just even like driving with like the windows down. I don't know why I remember that, but it was like driving with the windows down, like having that freedom. That would be dope. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff, and I think it's just like a big lesson on gratitude and kind of a reset button, kind of on what we've taken for granted that Like I was thinking today, the first live show that like AEW puts on, if it's like really good, I'm going. I don't care where it is. I
I'm
don't
down
care.
too. Like as long as it's like manageable. Like if I can get away, if it's on like the West Coast, I have to like fly. Well, you have to
Yeah, that would be a pain in the
fly
butt.
out there. But I mean, like in theory, I love that idea because that's gonna be like the most fun show ever. Everyone
Oh,
together and like everyone like I mean, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be awesome.
yeah, like a year ago, I was just thinking this. A year ago, I was planning to do the Vegas trip for Double or Nothing. Like that was like a year ago. I think I had just like bought my ticket, like for sure bought my ticket and everything and bought my plane ticket and was getting ready to go to Double or Nothing and Starcast and all that. Like that was like such a life-changing trip for me as far as like my social media presence for pro wrestling too. So like whenever, dude, if they do one in Vegas, holy crap, that's gonna be a party. That is
Yeah,
gonna be such a party, and I'm down. I'm so going.
I'll go back to Las Vegas. That's a place
Hell yeah.
without it being a big issue because my uncle lives like 10 minutes off the.
Oh,
I can
nice.
just stay with him whenever. So like, I'm totally down for that. I'm totally
Yeah.
back to Vegas. I was just there last month. Like
No way.
as like the pandemic stuff was like starting, like or like people knew about it, but it was like really starting to become like a thing where it's like, should you travel? Like, what should? And I was like on airplanes and in Las Vegas and like touching all these cards, like gambling and stuff.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh my
I
God.
mean, oh yeah, like I mean, I was in all these different arenas and bars and all this stuff when I was up there and touching all these slot machines. I mean, yeah, all them
Right.
touch the stuff. And then like when I came back, it turned out it was like a gigantic. And my brother was actually shout out to Steel Boxing Athletics. My brother was cornering a boxer up in New York that same weekend. And, like New York wound up being like the one of the worst places you could have.
Ooh.
So it's like we both. I feel like we both dodged bullets by being in Las Vegas and in New York like as this was all happening.
Yeesh.
So I'd like to be able to go back to Vegas again and like not have to like
Yeah.
worry about anything. Um,
Yeah. Definitely.
yeah. Shout out to Stephen Fate, who I once again see in the chat. Thank you for joining the chat and being so active in there. Says this is my favorite podcast. That's much appreciated, especially for something we just kind of do on a whim without any
Yeah.
advertising or anything. So like, much appreciated. Jay Jeezy, hopefully this pandemic ends soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wrestling to be back in front of a live crowd again. Of course.
I know. Oh, I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it.
I mean, I will say, if you, I mean, just because, I mean, you kind of have to compare the two, but I will say AEW's shows with no fans have been pretty darn good. Like, given the circumstances, they've been
Yeah.
darn good shows. Whereas, like, WWE, NXT has been all right. What did it, you know what? We didn't talk about it beforehand, but did you
Yeah.
watch that Gargano and
Yes.
that's pretty
I
polarizing. Like, people either love it or it's like the
really.
worst match ever. Yeah,
I can see
crazy.
both. I can't really see how people can think it's the worst match ever because it was like it was an actual match. It was a little crazy, but it was like an actual match. And I actually feel solely responsible for that thousand. I guess I obviously I don't count for 1,000 people, but we actually had NXT on the big TV, and I was watching AEW on my laptop because we were supposed to be at NXT Takeover.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, we might as well see the match that we were gonna go watch. And the one thing I will say is the commercials were such a mood killer for me during that match. Like, completely took me out of it. Like, and then because there was like no commentary, there was no one to say, and we're back. Like, I just kept thinking it was like a commercial for like, I don't know, like a car company or something, or like GNC, or like, it
Right.
was just, it was weird. And so, like, the commercials completely took me out of it. And then I would get like right back into it. And then as soon as I'm like, all right, let's go, let's go, it was like all of a sudden another commercial. It was just that, and it was so long. It was an hour. Wasn't it an hour?
Of like TV time, like give or take,
Yeah.
because with the breaks, yeah, it was like something like an hour.
Yeah, it was just like it was long. I thought it was good, but it was really long. And the fact, okay, so I used to live in Orlando, and I know where they were filming this. It's off this road called Cimarron, and which is a road I used to drive down frequently. Like I had so many doctor's appointments on that road. Like I used to pass Full Sail like all the time.
Did I
And
ever
I
tell
was
you I used to work on iDrive?
You used to work on iDrive where?
at the Peabody when it was around.
Oh my god, I used to go there and watch all the ducks.
Yeah, I used to
Oh
see
my
that like
god.
every day. That was my first job out of college. Was
Are you
that
serious?
hotel? Yeah, no joke.
Oh my god, we used to go there for Easter, speaking of, and we would watch the ducks and they would go into the elevator and they had like the little carpet.
Yeah, the
Dude,
funniest
okay, so
thing about that, not many people know this. So the guy that would bring the ducks, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the Peabody Hotel is like known for its duck walk.
mhm.
Like they have these ducks that are like the mascots of the hotel. There used to be one in Orlando that I worked at, that me and Jesse are talking about. It's no longer there, but they still have one in Memphis and I believe in Little Rock, Arkansas, or something like that.
There's someone, yeah.
And anyway, so they like the big thing is like the marching of the ducks. Like this guy who they call the duck master walks these ducks, in like a little row, and they kind of almost like dance together to like walk
So cute.
pictures with them and all that stuff. So the duck master's name, I'm not even kidding. When I was working there, the guy who was in charge of the ducks, his name was Donald. No joke.
No
So it was
way.
Donald Duckmaster. Yeah.
Oh my, is that he could have gotten like a cease and desist for that.
Well, yeah, it was like this guy was like born for this very specific job that like three people on Earth have. The Duck Master. Um,
That's a
but yeah,
good gimmick.
that's just I don't. This is such a coincidence. This pen that I always use, it still works. This is from when I worked at.
Oh,
It's got the little ducks on it.
oh, dude. So I used to live in like Dr. Phillips, and then
Yeah.
when we moved back, we lived in Lake Nona. But yeah, so imagine driving down Cimarron and like just driving down and like heading over to like Baldwin and stuff, and like you turn and you look at Full Sail and there's two dudes fighting on top of a truck and no one's filming it. Like right across that Shell station too, that gas station. Like imagine like getting gas. It's like middle of quarantine. And you're like, you're worrying about everything. And you just look over and like there's a drone and you're like, what's that noise? And all of a sudden you're like, you see these two dudes on top of a truck just like brawling with a referee there.
So
Imagine
wild.
having no idea.
Yeah, that'd be quite a trip.
That kind of took me out because I was just then all of a sudden I just couldn't stop thinking about like driving past Full Sail and seeing that. I mean, it is Full Sail, so it's anything goes. They've got that little set in the back and everything, but
Sure.
that was really funny to me. That cracked me up. That's like something you would see on OBT, which that's such a niche Orlando reference, by the way. So, but yeah, I thought it was good. I really did. I thought it was good, okay. So at the end of it, spoilers. At the end of it, when Candace and Johnny are walking out, you can see Scarlett Bordeaux and Killer Cross in the car. There's a car, and you can see them in the car. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. I think
No one's talking
pretty
about
awesome.
that. No
Well, I
one's
saw
talking.
like somebody on Twitter. Wish I knew who it was. I put it up on the screen, but somebody like screenshotted it, and I
Yeah.
saw them post that. Because I haven't even watched the full match yet. Like I know what happens. I've like basically fast forwarded through the majority of it because I knew that it was going to be incredibly long.
Well, yeah.
Um, and I'll be 100% honest. Like I'm totally over the Gargano and Ciampa feud in general.
Yeah.
It's dragged on long enough. Like it peaked at New Orleans a couple years ago. And I mean there was still some legs to it, but now it's had just so many weird like baby face and heel,
So many turns. Yeah.
and you don't know who to cheer for and who not to. And at this point, I mean I could just be speaking for myself. But I just at this point I start to like care who wins the feud. It's just like I want them to do different things. I just don't care. Like all right,
Yeah.
because the ending of that match implied to me that that isn't the end of it because like it was still
Right.
a screwed up finish and it was still didn't Gargano hit Ciampa with his own finisher to win the match also? So it's
I think yes.
not just gonna
After he kicked him in the gonads,
right,
and then but he had the cup, which was what Candace gave him in the car, which I thought that was
right,
really cool. I really liked that little piece because I was like, because when she kicked him in the balls, I was like, oh my god, I gasped, I audibly gasped when she did that. I was like, no, they can't do this weird love triangle thing, please. And
Right.
then, like, obviously it played out, and I should have had faith. But yeah, I thought that it did definitely leave like the door open for more. Oh, my daughter just goes, "I'm back." She's knocking on the door. But it definitely left the door open for the feud, which I think should have been closed, like you said, in at Takeover New Orleans. That was such a good match. It was so good, and I'm done. I honestly, you know what I think? I think Ciampa's gonna show up on SmackDown tonight.
Oh, that wouldn't be surprising. I mean, I could see that happening. I
I
don't.
mean,
I just have no faith that they'll like they called him up before. Remember, it was like really short.
yeah,
He got hurt.
really weird. Like, was that before? What happened? Why did they?
Him and Gargano were
He got hurt.
on NXT and then got called up to Raw as a tag team, like while they were feuding on NXT. And
Then they got.
like
Didn't Johnny get hurt or something?
yeah, and then Ciampa like got hurt again from like the injury he like most recently.
Yeah.
I think he was the NXT champion when he was on Raw.
Yes, I believe
Um,
so. That was a
so
weird time.
yeah, well, it was stupid how they did it because he
So
was
dumb.
just a part of that random like, hey, these guys are on Raw now, and it just showed like them and Ricochet and like whoever else. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, cool. Like you're not like no vignettes, no like surprise. It was just like, hey, these 5 or 6 or whatever people are they're just not on NXT. They're on Raw now too. It's like,
It was so weird because it was like there was like you said there was like no vignettes. It was kind of like a random because I think that was when they were trying to say that like NXT was not developmental anymore. Like
right,
that was like I feel like we don't talk about that. That was so weird. But you're right. That was weird. He's already been. But I feel like what else is there for Ciampa in NXT? I mean, obviously you could
right.
get Goldie back, but he tweeted something that Goldie isn't his anymore or something.
Hmm.
Like I saw that. I think that he needs to move on, and I feel like it would be best done, unfortunately, on the main roster.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Like, I mean, Ciampa's obviously incredibly talented. It's just a matter of how the hell is he going to get booked. We'll see how that goes. But I do think Killer Cross is interesting because
Mm-hmm.
he's in the pairing of him and Bordeaux is good too. Like it'll look good on screen on WWE, like the two of them together, and like they can play off each other really well, and it adds like layers to Killer Cross's overall presentation. It's like, and helps Bordeaux as well being associated with
Mm-hmm.
like it's mutually beneficial for both people. And I think that for those of you who don't know, like Killer Cross is like legitimately mixed martial arts trained. Like
He's really good. I'm a
yeah.
big fan. Yes.
So he can bring something to the table that's very interesting. It's similar to kind of what Matt Riddle does, but like way more serious. Like way more serious vibe. Like when Riddle's in the ring, obviously it's serious, but he's like got kind of that goofy presence about him, which is
Yeah.
likable. But he's kind of that goofball dude outside of the ring, whereas Killer Cross is like just like a legit badass. Like I would never want to ever fight the guy for any reason at all. Like just stay away. And that dude, like the stuff he's done stuff with like Bloodsport in the past and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does in NXT because I'm waiting on that next person like that I was hoping it kind of be like Riddle, but
Mm-hmm.
a next person who's like legitimate from like a mixed martial arts kind of standpoint, like legitimate like that, but is protected to the point where like you actually build this person to the level of like maybe straight up beating Brock or beating like some like build up like a legit fucking badass MMA type fighter who has like legitimate credentials who's gonna be around for a long time. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think you need kind of that next guy to do that.
I completely
That
agree.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Killer Cross. I think that he's great. I was really excited for him when he signed with NXT because I mean that was the next step, really. I mean, it'll be interesting because like following him on like the indies for like not that long but long enough, it'll be interesting to see the evolution of his character, so to speak, and see how it works in the WWE format. I feel like they're doing a really good job with it like so far, even though it's just been like
Yeah.
weird vignettes, but it's very Killer Cross. Like Killer Cross is he has a very set like gimmick, and it's really it's not like Bray Wyatt-ish, but it's like kind of creepy and cool, and I love it. And so it'll just be really interesting to see how it works. And I think it'll do great in NXT. I think it's perfect for NXT. If it develops into main roster, that's to be said, but we've got a lot of time now. And
Yeah.
I don't really like Scarlett Bordeaux because of what she did to Fightful. So I don't really, unless she's apologized for that, which I don't think she did, I don't like her vibe. I think that she's kind of rude.
What did she do? Because now I feel like I
She
know, but now I can't remember.
she was like really, really, really rude and was saying like really rude things about Fightful. And then like in the background of, I don't want to like start some stuff, but like in
Sure.
the back at Double or at the Starcast in Vegas, she was like in the background giving the finger on camera purposely while Sean was doing an interview.
Mm.
And it was just really weird and I didn't understand it. I thought it was really bad, like publicity for her, really. And it was a shame because I really liked her and I respected her, but I lost a lot of respect for her after that. And so I don't really like her. But people can grow and people can change and people can mature, and I'm really hoping that she does that, and I do wish her the best.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Have
like
they
her.
called have they called him Killer Cross on TV?
Ooh, I don't
I'm
know.
I'm just wondering because that seems like a name they would like for sure change. Like I don't think they
Yeah,
Killer out there for like a PG. I mean, obviously NXT isn't PG, but
yeah,
have to change their names when they go from NXT to the main roster, especially with all the Benoit publicity right now. You
yeah.
know,
Oh man.
I'd imagine they'll change his name to something different. I could be wrong about that. I generally watch NXT on mute, so and while I'm watching AEW with the
Yeah.
volume on, so that's if you know in the chat, let us know as well. And anybody who we didn't mention this at the top, but if you send a super chat or a donation, we will prioritize your question, go deep on it. Um, my PayPal link I'll put on here because
I can put it on. Can you put it on there? Yeah, I can
yeah,
do
I
it.
think I can put it on here now.
I'm highlighted, so I can do it.
I think this is it. So if you do that, that'll just let us know you sent a donation. I'll check it. Me and Jesse split everything 50-50, so if you send it to me, I'll obviously split it with her and vice versa. But once again, super chats or donations, everything is obviously super appreciated, but we
Yeah.
also elaborate on whatever you want to talk about.
And if you want to share this like on your social medias, please go ahead and give it a like if you so choose. If that's your thing, if not, that's okay. It does help the engagement on YouTube. It actually does help the analytical standpoint if you like it and share it and engage with it. So that helps us out too. So that would be really appreciated. We love seeing all this chat engagement. It says JGZ says, I think I could see them changing his name from either Just Cross or Kevin Cross. That that would work. And how much super chat to get a follow on Twitter?
that's, that's I
Seven
kind of want
thousand dollars. No, I'm just kidding. I
$7,000.
just don't. As long as you don't like retweet like super inappropriate things and aren't like a jerk, like I'll probably follow you. Like, I don't know. I don't really do like when people ask for a follow back, I don't really do that because I've had really bad experiences where I had someone who was like retweeting like really inappropriate stuff and I unfollowed them and they like went off on me, blocked me, like hated me. So it kind of scarred me for life. So I'm like super cautious about that. But I appreciate everything. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Well, just hit me up on Twitter. I mean, I think I know who you are. So, um, yeah, 7,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Anything's appreciated. Anything's appreciated.
$100. I'll fly you back
Oh
on.
my God, that's a
Kevin,
lot of money.
no, I'm totally kidding. I'll follow back most of the people who watch this and are active in the chat and stuff like that. I just need to.
Yeah, I think
This
so
is
too.
no
I think
offense
that's
to
a good idea.
anybody. I just have to know you're not a crazy person because, like, especially with all the work I do with MMA on Point, like, so many people see those videos that occasionally, like, oh, I will follow someone or like someone will send me a message on like or a request on Facebook or something like that. Turns out they're like a complete psychopath. So like I just have to be careful about it. And that's if you're cool in the chat consistently, like there's no reason that I wouldn't follow you back for.
Yeah, Stevie, you
I
seem
just have to
great.
know. I just have to know you're not insane. And the only way I can know that is seeing consistently normal things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Jesse has to worry about it a lot more than I do. So, to be completely honest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's what's your at, Steven? I I see a protected person. Anyways, um, yeah. What were we
Kevin
talking?
Cross could be a possibility for.
Yeah.
I saw that he used to go by that on the Indies. I just looked up his Wikipedia. I didn't know that he went by that at
Yeah.
some point.
I think Cross
Went
would
by the
just
name the
just
White
Cross.
Rabbit at some point.
Ooh, very
The,
Alice, very
the White.
Matrix too.
That's weird. The White
White
Rabbit.
sounds like a drug.
Yeah. Oh, that
Like,
was in Lucha Underground, I think. I
ooh,
think.
oh,
Yeah, he was in that Rabbit tribe with Paul.
oh my God,
That's yeah. I didn't realize that was him.
that's funny. I didn't either. Lucha
That's
Underground
interesting.
has so many like Easter eggs, pardon the
Yeah.
Easter pun, but it's so true, and it is such a game changer because they're doing all that cinematic stuff too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of like every time I'm like this feels like Lucha. It's very Lucha.
I'll give a shout out to Dojo Pro also. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this, but it's like this. It's available on. I believe it's still available on Amazon Prime. And I think probably like they probably uploaded a lot to YouTube. It may all be available for free at this point. I'm not sure, but a couple years ago, probably about 2 years ago in Nashville, Tennessee, they filmed. It was like this thing. It was kind of weird how they set it up, but like they had this studio, and I was basically invited to attend a wrestling show in Nashville.
What?
Like I had to like it was like an invitation thing where I had like RSVP. I had to sign a non-disclosure that I wouldn't give away the results of the tapings, and I had no idea what this was. I was just like, but it was run by people that I trusted. Like as far as like the people who invited me to it and told me about it were people I knew through independent wrestling, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check this out. Like a free wrestling, this is great. So I showed up, and it wound up being a taping for this thing called Dojo Pro, and it's almost an empty arena. Like it's a little sound stage, and there was maybe 20 of us, like maybe total, just like around the ring.
That's really cool though.
But the reason I bring it up is because not only was it a good way of doing the show is basically in front of no fans because it was shot the same kind of way. But the roster for this show, like this was only like 2 years ago, and most of these people were like unknowns, and now they're like all signed to major promotions.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
really cool.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find the lineup for anyone who wants to check it out. Um, and this will hopefully not ruin like the show for you, like because it's cool because it's a tournament format. Like each
Ooh.
episode is a match, and the winner of the match gets the what they call the white belt, and you got to go through the gauntlet. Belt at the end of it wins the black belt, and they wound up getting a television title shot in Ring of Honor. It was like a
Oh, that's amazing.
so yeah, it was a really cool concept. Um, let's see if I,
That is pretty cool.
oh, so here's the rankings for the show. Yeah, this is great. I'm glad they have this up. So check this out. This is the show I'm talking about. You can see who all is involved here.
Wow,
Um,
MJF.
yeah. Let me see.
I'm like looking.
Yeah. Sorry, my there we go.
Well, no, my thing's just really tiny.
So this is
Wow.
this is the this is the season right here. You got Jeff Cobb, who's signed to Ring of Honor and has done stuff with AEW. Shane Swerve Strickland, who's now in 205 Live and NXT. MJF, who's in AEW. Aaron Solo, who's I believe in New Japan currently. Ricky Starks with the NWA. James Storms with the NWA, Brandon Cutler's with AEW, Joey Janela's with AEW, Corey Hollis has done stuff with Ring of Honor, but mainly on the indies, and Wheeler Yuta is basically like a staple of Beyond Wrestling on
Yes.
IWTV. So,
Dude, I love Joey Janela so much. I was just thinking, I was like, I miss Joey Janela on my television.
yeah, I'm a
Oh,
big fan of his as well. Um,
he's hilarious.
yeah, and he just loves wrestling so much. Like, he's just such like a 90s wrestling fan that like just became a wrestler at the age of like 15 or whatever. and
Yeah.
viral enough that like people noticed him, just like crazy.
The social distancing match, did you see that? That was great.
Yeah, it's it's crazy.
People hated that, but I thought it was
Uh,
creative. It got a lot of mainstream like attention.
True, very true. I mean, and I can't really knock that if I'm a fan of like Chikara match or like PWG stuff where like Chuck Taylor would do like the fake grenade and stuff like that, like and people would pretend to like blow up, and or Ciampa would like stick his thumb in people's asses in slow motion.
Yeah.
So I can't really say like, I can't really knock anything if I claim like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, what else do we have? Oh, Stephen Fate gave his Twitter handle in the chat, by the way.
Yes, I got it. I used to follow him. We had a different Twitter handle, so yeah, I remember that.
Jay Jeezy says you like the social distancing match.
I loved this. Ugh, it was great. Dude, one of my life goals, I was gonna tweet this earlier. One of my life goals, he went on Instagram Live as the DVD screensaver filter. It's like there's Instagram filters, and he was like a DVD player screensaver where it like bounces.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm a DVD, bro. And I was like laughing, and I was like, my goal is to go on Instagram Live with Joey Janela and do like a DVD. He can be a DVD filter, and I can be a DVD filter, and we can play Pong.
Oh,
And
that's
like,
a great idea.
I was like, that would be so fun. I mean, that's probably the dumbest thing people have heard in months, but that we're in quarantine. We've got a lot of free time, and that just came into my mind. So that I think he's really funny, and I would love to see him. Is he in the tournament for the TNT championship?
I don't think so. I wish he was.
What?
It should have been. I could be wrong.
Where is that? AEW. With my best friend Kenny Omega. Potential best friend.
BFFs.
BFF, my BFF, Kenny Omega. I promise I'm not creepy, Kenny. Where is this? Where is this?
While you're looking, 02K0 says, Jesse, did Kenny Omega ever see your tweets? LOL. Yeah, that's actually what we're talking about right now. He did.
He liked it
on the screen while Jesse's looking.
He's liked a few of my tweets, actually. He liked my tweet about not being able to see him. He's liked within the past, like since quarantine, he's liked at least 3 or 4 of my tweets. So he's basically my best friend. Basically. I don't know how he feels about that. I'd love for him to be cool with that. But if he's not, that's okay. I totally respect that. I'm not gonna be a creep. Yo.
If you become best friends with Kenny Omega, can you please tell him to take the belt off Nyla Rose?
Oh my gosh.
It's the most serious question I've ever asked you.
Oh my gosh. Well, here it is. I'll do my best. Okay, so no, he's not. Why isn't Joey Janela on here?
On where?
He's not. He's not in this TNT. Okay, we have Spears versus Cody, Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. I always want to say Allin. Kip Sabian. That's why. It should be Kip Sabian versus Joey Janela in the semifinal.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. Because it's Kip Sabian and Dustin Rhodes, Lance Archer and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, that's going to be a destruction. Who do you think's going to win the whole thing? I think Archer's going to beat Cody in the finals.
I think so too. That's what I was going to say. I don't think Cody's going to get it. I think he's going to lose. It's going to be super shady how he loses. And the next pay-per-view, he's going to go for it. And Cody's going to win and get that big baby face pop. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
That'd be cool. I think they have an interesting opportunity with Archer. Like, if they could really push him big time. I'm a bigger fan of Cody. I'm very vocal about that not even just for bias reasons at this point. Like, he's an awesome wrestler and like super over at this point too. So like when he was in the WWE, it was me fanboying big time whenever I brought him up in like certain discussions. But right now, it's like, that guy's getting a big a pop as anybody in like the wrestling business. So I gotta give him his props for sure. But it's one of those things where like, what was I talking about?
The Cody and Archer.
Oh yeah, but I personally like to see Cody with like the world title or even like this new TNT title. I want to see him. I don't like the idea of like Cody and Kenny and like these kind of guys like constant. I heard shout out to they're calling this one Fight Feed now, but the guys who are like the All Elite feed that have been in the last few times. They did a show the other night. It might have even been last night. But I agreed with what they were saying about Kenny and Cody and the Young Bucks have kind of like they want to put other people over so much that they're kind of losing sight of the fact that like AEW only exists because of how over they are. Like
Right.
so like it isn't it's awesome to see them being willing to try to make new stars for the company, but at the same time like Cody should be like the world champion. Kenny should be the world champion level. Like I mean him and Hangman are having awesome stuff going on
Yeah,
right now.
that's
But
fine.
you know what I'm saying? Like they've all kind of like they could have but they don't want to be looked at as like we're the ones running the show and we're also winning all the matches. So I understand that that's where it's coming from,
Yeah.
um but to get back to Archer, they have a big opportunity if he beats Cody clean for that. If I'd be it'd be more likely that like Jake the Snake gets involved or something. But if he beat him just straight up clean, that puts Archer at like a top level right off the bat, and he could really benefit from that. So
Yeah. I'm looking because I know Lance Archer said that he's from Texas. He said he was from Dallas, but this is where he says he's from is not Dallas, or where it says he was born. I guess it's not Dallas because I grew up in Dallas. So
hmm.
it says he
Zero
lives.
2K0. Lance Archer's one of my favorite wrestlers since TNA with Jimmy Rave. Yeah, I remember those days too. It's crazy that that's the same guy.
Oh, he wrestled as Dallas.
He wrestled as Dallas. Yes. No, no, no.
Yeah.
You're now I remember that too. That was his original name in
Yeah.
TNA was Dallas.
That's where I got confused. Okay. Because I was like, I
Yep.
thought I was like, there's a Dallas connection. And I'm a total Dallas, Texas mark. So
If I remember
I,
correctly, back in those days, he was teaming with Kid Cash, I think. I think
uh,
tag team and
yep.
doing some management. Yeah, it says it on
Won
there.
the NWA World Tag Team Championship twice with Kid Cash.
There you go. I was a huge TNA mark. Huge
Were you?
when they first started. Oh my god. I used to do all the like allegedly,
Allegedly.
but back in those days, I'm sure you remember the what I call the Napster offshoots, which were like
Oh, like LimeWire.
Zaw and
Yeah.
LimeWire and
I
yeah,
was a
Bearship.
LimeWire. I was a LimeWire girl.
Yeah, me too. I had like all of them, like all those, and the TNA weekly pay per views. They were like every Wednesday for a while, or maybe once a month. I can't. No, I think it was weekly. I think it was a weekly Wednesday pay per view when they first started, and I used to watch all of them off of like those kind of services,
That's
and
great.
yeah, so allegedly, and I got like super into the product. And then like when they got on like Fox Sports Net, I was super into it when they got into Spike, and then I started falling off kind of around the around like the Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff type era is when I started
Hmm.
caring. Um, when they I don't know if you were watching or not, but there was one of the worst
Probably not.
storylines ever during that period. People in the chat will probably remember this if you watch TNA, but at one point, this is how bad the show was. They had Abyss, right? Like
Yeah.
comes into the company, and he's like, "Brother, I've got the next John Cena, Abyss. The next Hulk Hogan is gonna be Abyss." That's kind of a weird comparison, but okay. Like Abyss is talented. He's
Yeah.
really good matches. Like okay, see where this goes. Hogan comes into the company and gives him his WWE Hall of Fame ring, like on TNA television. Like gives him his
Oh
WWF
my
ring,
God.
and Abyss wears it, and I kid you not, they called it Abyssamania. He got Hulk Hogan's powers from the WWF Hall of Fame ring on TNA TV, and then started like
Wait, those rings
mixing
have
up,
power?
huh?
Those rings have power?
Yeah, even in different
What?
companies, apparently. So, and I think they just called it like the Hall of Fame ring the whole time, but it was clearly his WWE ring. So, but it was so bad, like that I was like, fuck this company, I'm out. Like I'm not watching Abyss pretend to be Hulk Hogan. Like how stupid is this? Um,
People remember it. People remember it in the chat.
yeah. People in the chat remember Abyssamania. I mean, come on, that
Mania.
was so bad. And then that all led to like eventually Hulk Hogan's like Immortal group and stuff, and then like Party. was so drugged out that he couldn't finish the match. Well, he finished the match with Sting, but Sting had to hold him on the ground. It was so embarrassing that time in TNA. And I paid for that pay-per-view. I paid for Jeff Hardy versus Sting pay-per-view and sat by myself in my apartment, watched that completely alone after paying for it, and felt like I was so ripped off out of my money for that.
Oh, I bet. I'd be mad. My daughter, if you hear like my daughter banging on the door, my apologies. She's fine. Whoa.
There's no bad parenting going on over there.
No, I'm just trying to get. I mean, my husband, it takes him long to get off the couch, so he's coughing.
Well,
we're all coughing here. It's been fun. Oh my God, my hat looks like a. Never mind. Okay, so we have people asking about the XFL, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Well, why don't you start?
In the immortal words of Nate Diaz, famous UFC fighter.
Oh my God, Nate Diaz.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker. I think. Now I will say this: I do feel bad for the WWE Vince in this perspective, because the company was overperforming from what I understand. Like, they were getting actually better ticket sales than what people expected. The TV ratings weren't terrible. Like, it was more of a success than the first run while it was going. Mm-hmm. There's nothing they can do about the pandemic. I mean, there's nothing anyone can do about any of this right now. So I honestly feel like the XFL was kind of screwed over. Like, I kind of joke that like,
it's not their fault this time.
Yeah, it's not their fault, and it probably should never return to begin with. Like, there wasn't really a huge reason for its existence to begin with, other than if you're a die-hard football fan, you have more football to watch throughout the year. If you like to gamble, you could like FanDuel and stuff on it. But this was completely out of their control, and I don't see them recovering from it and bringing it back a third time. I just don't think it'll happen.
Sorry, my kid is like banging on. Scarlett, mommy is still working, okay? I cannot. Anyways, but yes, I completely agree. I think it's really unfortunate. Oh, hold on. I'm calling the Easter Bunny.
There's the threat.
Okay. Anyways, no, this was not the XFL's fault. This was not Vince McMahon's fault. This was a incredibly unfortunate circumstance. And I have the tweet up here from SportsCenter. Breaking: the XFL suspended operations Friday morning and laid off nearly all of its staff. Multiple sources told these people. The league currently has no plans to return in 2021, which is incredibly unfortunate. I especially feel bad for the players. I feel really bad for the players, the coaches, everyone involved. There's no winners here, but a lot of those players were looking at this as a second opportunity. I know Cardale Jones, as an Ohio State alumni and fan, I love Cardale Jones. He will forever be a savior for Ohio State University football as a third-string quarterback who led us to a national championship, defeating Alabama and then Oregon. We defeated the Marcus Mariota era of the Oregon Ducks. Bye. So yeah, as a third-string quarterback, unexpectedly, and then he kind of fizzled out in the NFL. A lot of people thought that he would be another Cam Newton. He kind of had the same body. Didn't have quite the speed, but he was definitely physical. I mean, if you saw him playing against Alabama, you saw him just run over middle linebackers. Same with Oregon, like just completely dominated. We get those 10 yards for that first down. Just was really good. And he did pretty good at the beginning with the defenders, the DC defenders for the XFL. He did get benched in that last game. He didn't have a very good game. Which happens. Cardale Jones, if he's in a bad headspace, he's not going to have a good game. Seemed to be the right decision to bench him at the time. So I feel really bad for people like that were looking for this as a second opportunity. It was kind of like a stepping stone too, that I know the NFL said that they would be working with the XFL if people wanted to get called up to the NFL, I guess. Right. I really liked what they were doing with the extra points. I thought that the different yardage for the 3-point, 2-point, and the 1 point, it was just. Could you do a 1 point?
I can't remember. I didn't watch a whole lot of the XFL games, to be totally.
Yeah, so. I really liked it. I thought that it was a really great placeholder, I guess, at the time for the NFL off season until the draft. Until training camp started. So I'm really, really upset because I really thought that it was doing well. It was losing a little bit in the ratings, but I think that happens with everything. I mean, you see it with like heck AEW and NXT. They've kind of fizzled down in the ratings, but they're still holding strong at about like that 700,000. And
Sure.
I think that, had they had like a championship game, had they revived their kind of the buzz around it, especially after that first week of games, I feel like it would have bounced right back and people would have missed it. I really do. I think it's really, really unfortunate. It's a damn shame and it's no one's fault. And I do actually feel bad for Vince McMahon. I really do, which is sounds strange, but he's a human being. I know people don't believe that, but he really is. And it's just a shame.
Um, Super chat from Stephen Fate came in right as you finished that sentence. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Oh, thank you, Steven.
Really appreciate that. You rock. That
Yay.
says that we rock. So
Oh, yay.
that's very nice of you.
Thank you.
The there's the GIF.
Yay.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Your reign, Steven. Thank
If you'd
you.
like to send a question or something, I mean, we'll count it for you've already sent money. So like,
Yeah.
you send it any other chat underneath that. If you have like a question or a statement or anything you want us to read or elaborate on, go for it, Stephen. Um, Mika, or Micah, I'm not sure. I believe that's
I
a
think it's
man
Mika.
in the I just can't see the little profile picture from where I'm sitting very well. I believe that's probably Micah. He says so. There are reports that Gronk may be willing to come back to the NFL to play with Brady in Tampa. Is that true?
I don't know. I mean, I can understand it, but I do believe he signed a contract with WWE. So, I don't know, man. When I saw him, like, okay, so when he was a tight end for the Patriots, he was stacked. He was buff. He was very in shape. When I saw him at WrestleMania, you can tell he definitely slimmed down a lot, lost a lot of that muscle I mean, I didn't see him shirtless.
He's lost like
Just,
50 pounds of muscle.
yeah, he looks completely different. I really do think that if he does want to come back, he's going to have to get into the shape of his life. I really think that Tom Brady has come, like so many others, to Florida to retire. So I don't like. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Tom Brady being here in Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't know, and I don't think that he needs Gronk. I think like I think Tampa Bay has a fine set of wide receivers. I think that they've got a good set of tight ends. I think that they've got a pretty okay team that wasn't really built around Jameis Winston anyway. Because I mean, the man was 30 for 30. He threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in one
Oh yeah,
season, and it was amazingly
completely.
just just a wild roller coaster
Yeah.
of it was literally like 50-50, which is
Yeah.
astounding to me. Um, which is unfortunate for him, but I really do think if, well, what we'll see. We'll see how good the Patriots really are. Because I really always thought that while Tom Brady is probably, and this pains me to say as an Ohio State fan, I did really think that Tom Brady is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. And that pains me to say. I don't think you
Yeah.
understand how,
Michigan. You're
yeah,
right.
yes. That pains me to say. But I've always thought that Bill Belichick was really, really good at spreading out his wide receiver core so that the defense could not quite get people on their routes because he would just throw to anybody. So I think it really put like corners in a bind, and so it was really hard to defend the Patriots. I also think that the Patriots did a really, really good job of having a offensive line and a really good center. I always thought that they had great, great offensive linemen, and they always had a great defense as well. Like Mike Rabel. Mike Rabel is amazing, and so it'll be really interesting to see just how like solid um, the Tampa Bay offensive line is, which I think they kind of needed a little bit of work, seeing that Jameis Winston was put under pressure to throw 30 interceptions in a season. So it'll be
Right.
definitely really interesting to see. But I think that also we'll finally be able to see if our wide receivers and tight ends are good. That is probably a really, really long statement that I just said, and I apologize for that.
No, that's good insight. That's really good insight. I think that you're right though. Like, I personally, I do think that Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. I know that's like kind of a polarizing thing to say because of how good the organization or just the whole structure of like the team is with or without him in most cases. Like because even when he was out, like um why can't I not think of his name? The guy who Guskowski, or not Guskowski, that's the kicker.
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo. Like Garoppolo, even
Yeah, they were still really good.
Matt Castle back in the day got them to the playoffs.
Yeah, they went like 10-6 when Tom Brady tore his ACL, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like they've had and wasn't Brissett there also and like didn't play terribly.
Yeah, I think
I can't remember now, but my point is most of the quarterbacks who have backed up Tom Brady, obviously Garoppolo has played really well with the 49ers, but in most cases the people who were backing up Brady went off to not have great careers afterwards.
he wasn't. Jacoby Brissett was. He played for the Patriots.
So, right, but he hasn't been like great since. I think he's with the Colts
No.
now,
Yeah, he's
right?
with the Colts.
So it's like these people have dropped off significantly. Like Matt Castle, I remember getting a big contract from the Chiefs and then wound up playing for the Vikings after and just never lived up to the contract money by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm just wondering, will Brady look the same? Like the guy's 43 years old, I think. So it's like, will the same thing happen to him? But at the same time, I'm a Vikings fan. Like Brett Favre left the Green Bay when everyone thought he was done.
Remember he would retire and unretire and retire.
Well, most people forget about that season he had with the Jets. So it's like he had that one season with the Jets that like no one remembers, and then he came back the next year with the Vikings and had one of the best years of his career and almost brought him to the Super Bowl. And I have a lot of thoughts on that game because the Saints were like suspended afterwards because
the bounty, right?
Bounties and stuff. So that was all bullshit. But that all being said, Brett Favre had an awesome year. The next year he didn't with the Vikings. The next year was rough. But if you can get 1 year out of that, like Tom Brady, I mean that's worth the move to Tampa Bay for y'all for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and I think it'll be interesting as well to see how playing in the South will be on his body. He was at the university. He was at that team up north. Obviously, playing in that state that I don't like. And then he was in New England, which, playing in the cold is just a whole different game. I really do think that the SEC needs to play some games up in stadiums in the cold and see how they like it. But they're also very young. They're young. They can handle the heat. It'll be very interesting to see, AARP Tom Brady, how he can handle being in the heat and humidity for 16 weeks, basically. I mean, obviously he'll play here and there. Obviously there's away games and stuff like that. But to be training in it, to be living in it, it's a very different beast. So it's going to be super interesting to see. I don't think he needs Gronk. I think Gronk needs the WWE more than the WWE needs him. It should be interesting to see. I don't think if Gronk comes back, I'll laugh.
It'll be interesting because excuse me, but with Gronk, like if he comes back to the NFL, like he'll have to put all that muscle back on, you know what I mean? And like to watch that, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and accuse anyone of anything, but it's like when you see somebody deflate the Gronk has.
Yeah, it's so true.
You know what I mean? It's like what did he do to get that big, and what would he have to do to get that big again? Like let's be real here.
Them cheating Patriots.
Well, but I would say the same thing about anyone who played in the league. Like it's not just it's everybody in the NFL. It's everybody in most professional sports.
Yeah.
UFC/MMA included. I mean, if it isn't like quote unquote like anabolic steroids, everyone's on something like that are doing these things like, and they're not all like banned substances, but like
there's always performance enhancers.
Right,
Absolutely.
like you're going to GNC and you're getting the next protein powder that's supposed to be better than all the other protein powders and stuff like. I mean, it's just
getting those MCAs.
Shit ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with that because I think the technology is there, and if you can recover your body quicker, I'm all for it. Like I'd be fine with like HGH being totally legal in all sports if it was regulated. If somebody with a blown out shoulder could get a couple stem cells or HGH or whatever and prolong their career, and there was no harm to their body, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I agree.
So. But it will be interesting to see because Gronk has shrunk so much. Like if you went back into football and he got all that muscle back, it'd be like, dude, like, come on, man. What,
I know.
what are you doing?
It's
Um,
what? How long is Brady's contract? Because Ryan in the chat says Gronk shouldn't come back. Agree. Brady
I think
needs
it's only
to
like
help.
two. I think it's only like 2 years, isn't it?
I don't think it's 1 year. I think it's like a 2 or 3 year. I live here. I should know.
Yeah. I
Shame
think it's a
on
two
me.
year. I'm almost positive. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was a 2 year.
It's for a lot of money too. Ooh, excuse
Ryan
me.
Romano also said that Brady's the GOAT. Pains me to say. Jay Jeezy says the Patriots went 11-5 with Castle and missed the playoffs. So I was wrong about them making the playoffs.
Yeah,
5 is a record that would normally get you to the playoffs.
dude, it is. Oh, and we did not. I did not. I just saw the Tom Brady on Howard Stern. I did not see that or hear it. Oh, 2 years, 50 mil. Dang.
Can't blame him,
No.
especially after the Patriots weren't able to lock down my boy, who is. It pains me to say this, but Stefan Diggs, I should say, with the Vikings. Like seeing him go is a bummer.
Oh God, I know that hurts.
The best that I've ever seen in football in my whole life is that Minnesota Miracle.
That was so
Miracle.
freaking cool.
It was the
That
greatest
was
moment
great.
I've ever seen as a sports fan for myself. I mean, it was the greatest, and
Hmm.
see him have to go. It pains me because it's a bummer. I think we could have figured things out with him and kept him, but we didn't. But
Yeah.
once the Patriots didn't get him, and the Patriots also didn't get Bernard Hopkins who just left. Um,
Are you talking about
he
Houston?
left Houston. Yeah,
DeAndre Hopkins?
DeAndre Hopkins. That's what.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
Um,
who is?
Bernard
Yeah. I
Hopkins, I
figured.
think, was a boxer. Um, but yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. When the Patriots didn't lock either of them, and Brady's over here like, yo, I my the only
Yeah. Right.
the
What's your
only
salary cap, dude? Like for real.
well, the only hole in their offense really was them not having that one go-to receiver. Like they tried it with Antonio Brown that one week, and obviously that didn't work out for obvious reasons.
No, it
But
did not work out.
that was the thing with Brady is he's always had like that
Well, they had
receiver.
Edelman, but
Right, but it isn't like a Randy Moss or you know what I mean, like some
no.
like just like a total like just like a go-to threat, and they had the opportunity with Hopkins and Diggs and didn't go out and didn't pursue him or didn't lock him down, whatever the case was. They didn't.
I think they're gonna have a monster draft this year. I think the Patriots are gonna draft well.
Who's going to be their quarterback? I don't even know.
Um,
Let us know in the chat if you have any idea. I have no clue who the.
I heard that they were gonna go after Cam Newton.
That'd be quite a change from what they got with Tom Brady.
I really feel bad for Cam Newton. I just don't think his body can keep up with, like he thinks, like his body is not what it used to be.
Oh sure,
He can't
yeah,
keep up with like his mind, which I get because I am the same because that's just getting older, and I just think he's one of those huge physical dudes that just it physically takes a toll on you. And I mean, like okay, as a person with a vagina, I've never played a snap of tackle football, but so I can't say for sure what it feels like, but I can't imagine as a big dude like Cam Newton that my body would hold up.
yeah. Well, and also like I'm gonna be totally honest. I think his brain has taken a bit of a beating as well. Like
You see him dressed up as like the cowboy Undertaker that one time? He had like a
yeah,
cowboy hat with like a barbed wire on it.
well, it's like all that type of stuff. It's like that, and like he dressed like I think kind of like in drag recently and stuff, or kind of like it was like really out there stuff he's been wearing.
Eh,
Hey, to each his own. Like if you're
yeah.
dressed however the hell you want to, I'm like Big Daddy, like the movie. If you remember the movie, like I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If you want to put on a snorkel and call yourself Frankenstein, I don't care. But like he wasn't doing all that stuff before. Is kind of where I'm coming from. Is like it seems like there's been some sort of change in the way he's like thinking. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because he's the kind of guy who would potentially have some head problems with the way that he plays. I mean, with all
He's very physical, yes.
yeah. Um, I don't know. When I see that kind of stuff, it's just kind of a red flag to me. When people like really start presenting themselves like publicly like in a completely different way, I'm always kind of like,
It's concerning.
what's going on? Yeah. So, um, Gel says
It's Brian Hoyer.
Randy Boss. I agree. He's my favorite player of all time, Randy Moss.
Really? You just got mossed.
He's the best. I still have a jersey. I wear his jersey like all the time still. Love Randy Moss.
I don't have any like favorite players because I root for the Browns. So
It's tough. You can't really
it's like,
like
yeah, Bernie
commit to anybody.
Kosar. What up? 80s.
Right.
Wasn't even
Uh,
alive.
uh, Brady Quinn.
You know, he married AJ Hawk's sister.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when Notre Dame played Ohio State in the Rose Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl or something a long time ago, his AJ Hawk's sister, because they were engaged, she did like a half jersey of half Brady Quinn for Notre Dame and half AJ Hawk for Ohio State. It was super sweet. So
Yeah.
Brady Quinn has Ohio State connections, whether he likes it or not.
There you go.
Everything about Ohio State. If someone's gone to Ohio State, I'll tell you. Like Jeffrey Dahmer went to Ohio State.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
If people don't know about who that is, go ahead and look that guy up.
Oh man, don't let the kids be around.
Oh yeah. Not safe for work, not safe around a kid.
Not safe for life.
Yeah, that was a fascinating human being for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm really into that stuff. So
Yeah, I'm not endorsing anything that he ever did, obviously, but like
no,
it's a fascinating story what this guy did.
it's yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
bizarre. There's people in the chat saying Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer played for the Browns. Go away. Like if you can't. You know who also was with the Browns? You want to know who two Browns coaches were? Nick Saban and Bill Belichick.
Yeah, they've
Just saying.
got way better for him.
It was not. Yeah. It's. You. We're.
Hey, I know your pain though too. I mean, the Vikings have never won the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, I sit here every season with my hopes up. Like, I know the feeling.
At least you've gotten to the playoffs. That must be nice.
That's true. Yeah, but it's still not like ideal. Like getting knocked out of the playoffs in the first or second round every time. Like,
I do root for them though, because I do like Minnesota.
oh, well, that's cool.
I thought they were gonna have WrestleMania there before they announced it for Tampa, and so we got like a tourism, like a Minneapolis, Minnesota tourism book because we thought we were gonna take a trip to Minnesota.
Right. I figure you just go to like the Mall of America. Just feel.
I've never been to Minnesota. I don't think.
I've been a good amount of times, but like my dad's side of the family is from like Minnesota, North Dakota, and stuff like that. So that's why like I have.
People live in North Dakota.
Huh?
People live in North Dakota. I thought that was.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah, but there's like my grandma lived there for like forever.
Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah. I want to go to North Dakota.
I'm pretty sure the legal driving age there was like 14 when I was growing up too, because like there's just no one on the roads and stuff. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
that's great.
If it wasn't the legal age, there definitely was kids just like driving around for sure.
And no one cares.
No one cared.
It's North Dakota.
You're not gonna run into anyone because there's no one to run into. Like,
there's no like hard North Dakota gangs.
Ryan also mentioned that the Patriots. You wonder if the Patriots wish they kept Garoppolo. I mean, right now I'm sure that they would. And see, this is the thing. This is where my biggest hatred in the world, in like the world of sports, is the Green Bay Packers. Like I despise Green Bay Packers. But you got to commend them for making the right choice by going with Aaron Rodgers when they did and getting rid of Brett Favre.
Yes, when Brett Favre. Yes.
And the Patriots probably wish they had done the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo right now.
They need like an understudy for the goats. You know what I mean? Every goat needs an understudy to pass the torch to.
Right, and that understudy needs to be patient, and the team needs to be patient too, because there's only most people are only going to wait so long when they're like that talented. Like Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for I don't know how many seasons, probably 5, 6 seasons.
Oh, forever. It was like
a long time.
I think it was 5. I want to say 5.
So it's like, a guy with that kind of talent has to also kind of just sit back and like know, like my time will come.
Know your worth.
But for someone like him, like you don't really know that when like you're backing up Brett Favre or someone like Tom Brady, where it's like, when are they? You would have figured that their careers would have been over, a better part of a decade ago, based on like, you know, just people either getting injured, old age, or
Hmm.
their statistics like dropping off to the point of them just not being a viable starter anymore, and just there was really no end in sight for either of those guys when it was happening. So I don't know. Um,
Ouch. Sorry, I just hit
well, let's
my
talk
knee.
about the revival
Yeah, I was
since
about to say, let's talk about the
yeah,
revival since
since we haven't done that.
yeah. So, I mean, we were just kind of shooting the
No,
shit.
well, and that's why I like doing these live chats because we're literally just hanging out. Like people
Yeah, just chilling.
keep asking questions and stuff. You know the deal with the super chats. If you send something, we'll prioritize it no matter what the amount is. Um, but as far as the revival, Jesse, what are your thoughts on that? Like the revival was officially released from the WWE, and apparently, I believe, according to Ryan Satin, a pro wrestling sheet, they do not have a non-compete clause. Like they can show up anywhere.
I saw that. I saw that. Okay, so basically, I'm happy for the revival. This needed to happen. It needed to happen. I don't know. Okay, so with this whole situation that we're in, this pandemic, I do believe that a lot of companies, including WWE, are going to have to make some employment changes, so to speak. That's all I'll speculate on. I just think that this is
I'll
going to have
say
an
it. They're gonna have to let people go probably because they can't
yeah.
work. Yeah.
You can't have these people just not even on TV, not utilizing them on television, paying them $100,000. You can't be doing that. So I think it's great, and I think it's great for both parties. I think you can stop, footing around and playing all this weird stuff and let them be happy. Because in the end of the day, it's about the wrestlers actually wanting to work for your company, and I think it's about actually wanting them to be happy because I feel like happy wrestlers make the best wrestlers. Happy, healthy, and doing what they want to do. I mean, it's just humanity. So I'm really happy for them. Where they go is anyone's guess. Obviously, you can look at AEW as probably the number one contender for them. Maybe they take a break, but it seems like you said they are for immediate release. They don't have a non compete clause, which is the right choice. I mean, props on WWE for letting them go and not being jerks and making them not compete. I mean, it's not like they can compete really anyway, but these people, just let them go live their life and try and be better, WWE. So bravo to WWE for releasing them. They've wanted it for a long time. So I'm really, really happy for them, and I think that they did their time in WWE. They were tag team champs. They were great in NXT. And I think that wherever they go, they are going to bring the best in tag team wrestling. And honestly, I think the best place to do that is WWE. What do you think?
You think the best place is WWE?
I mean, AEW.
Okay,
Why?
that's what I thought you meant.
I mean, sorry. I
Just wanted to clear that up.
I was looking at a WWE, the Twitter thing, and so I said it because my mind was like, "You need to read, bitch."
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a no-brainer that they're going to go to AEW. I can't imagine any other scenario. Then again, I thought that about Marty Scurll as well, but
And that weird Ring of Honor thing.
there's something up with that though. I'm still not sold that that doesn't have some sort of tie-in to AEW, and part of it might even be taking longer than planned because of the pandemic and stuff. Like I don't know, but like it just doesn't make the Marty thing makes no sense to me at all that he
Yeah.
wouldn't have signed with AEW. Especially he's working with the NWA and Ring of Honor.
Hmm.
What's to say that he can't also work for AEW in that contract? Like, but I think what I think needs to happen. I think Marty needs to beat Nick Aldis for the NWA title and then show up on AEW TV as the NWA champion. I think that would be a really great introduction and put him at like the top of the card without having to even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Go up.
Right.
But that
Well,
all
I
being
know that
said,
I thought that the original plan was for Marty Scurll to be the Exalted One.
yeah, I mean that's what most people speculate, and that's probably the case. Um, and I don't know why it didn't happen. I mean, I think Brody Lee is a good pick,
Yeah.
but I mean, it would have made total sense for it to be Marty Scurll, and the timing made sense too with him, re-signing with Ring of Honor recently, in the revelation or whatever of the Exalted One being kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I will say the revival. I hope that they wrestle the Young Bucks right away. Like I hope that they don't.
They had that tweet. The Young Bucks had that tweet about wrestling the Revival, and they said, "Remember this tweet."
Yep.
I think they deleted their Twitters, but it said that.
So
So
it'll be really interesting. I mean, I think that's the match that needs to have right off the bat. Like I don't think that they should like.
no effing around.
Yeah, maybe come in and like maybe beat a couple like squash teams or something, building up to a pay per view or something. I don't know, but like at the end of the day, they need to just strike while the iron's hot on this. Like the Revival being free agents now, everyone's talking about it. They've been vocal about wanting out of the WWE for a long time now. People are ready for it. People want to see them versus the Young Bucks. Just give the people what they want. AEW is good at giving people what they want for the most part. Just do that.
Yeah.
So, and I think it'll be an incredible match. And it's good to know that this is happening too, because the Revival was amazing in NXT and hasn't done hard
So good.
since.
And they were good in with their like when they would fight the Usos and stuff. They
Yeah,
were really good too. They
yeah,
bring it. They bring it. I don't want to say they bring the smoke because but but they really do, and they're really good. And every time they wrestle, people remember how good they are.
yeah, yeah. We'll see.
So
I mean, they're like such a perfect fit for like. They're both basically Arn Anderson, like, the next coming of Arn Anderson, like each of them.
right,
There can be with Arn Anderson in AEW, which would be
bro. Yes.
yeah, what a great fit. Holy Blanchard's there,
I just got chills. I just
like
got goosebumps.
basically
for sure.
the team that they're the second coming of, like Blanchard and Arn, the Four Horsemen, like they're both there, like
They're there. They're there. Oh my god, I want it to happen now so bad, but when can they do it?
I think right away. I mean, well, if there was fans in the arena, I don't think they're going to keep doing I mean, then we might get some more debuts with no fans because it went so far with Hardy and Brody. But like, I think that they'll wait until there's fans around to do the Revival. I think.
Oh, I hate coronavirus. Oh, I want them in there now.
Yeah. Ryan Romano says the Revival could fit perfectly anywhere. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just don't. I think they'd be kind of wasted in like Impact. Like they have good tag teams in Impact. They have a really good match with Josh Alexander and Ethan Page. Like there's good teams for them everywhere. I'd like to see them on the Indies even. If they did like a short run on the Indies and had matches against some of the top teams on the indie scene, like stuff you'd see on like IWTV. I think that would be, or like go to the PWG or something for a couple matches. It'd be cool, but I also think it'd be cool for them to just disappear for a second and then just reappear in AEW and like get thrown right in the deep end of the tag team division.
Right. I think now that they have a little bit of buzz around them, obviously, and people are speculating, embrace that speculation. Embrace it. Be like kind of cryptic. Maybe if you want to throw some little hints on, like Twitter, whatever, Instagram, whatever you so choose. I think it'd be fun, kind of like with like the Exalted one. I don't think AEW should tease it because I would give it away. But embrace that speculation. And when they finally do debut, which I do agree they should do it in front of a crowd, would be so freaking awesome. I really wish we had live crowds. It makes me really sad.
Well, another option that AEW has, which it'd be kind of like I feel like it'd either go really, really great or terribly. Like there'd be no in between. But like an option that they would have is, especially right now with like I just know, for instance, like with YouTube, so many people watching YouTube, everyone's stuck at home. It's like, and I would imagine a lot of people are paying attention very closely to Being the Elite because it's like very, we don't get a lot of pro wrestling stuff right now, like no original content. And like the whole FTR thing was basically born out of Being the Elite. So if like
Yes.
Dawson showed up on that out of nowhere,
Did WWE trademark that FTR though?
I don't know.
I heard they trademarked a bunch of their names and stuff, which is so, I hate when that's so petty. Like,
Yeah.
get out. Well, you're not going to use it. Get out of here. Sorry.
Yeah. So I don't think it'd be like ideal for them to show up on Being the Elite, but I think it's like a possibility that would at least make sense if they like jump the Young Bucks and they're like, "Fuck the Revival, huh?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, like they're here," you know?
That would be so good. I would live for that. Because, I mean, why not? I mean, that's money right there. YouTube is big money. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much AEW has filmed, or have they filmed yet? Were they planning to film this week?
I don't know, but this is all happening in Atlanta. I know exactly where they're doing the filming right now.
Go!
Well, no, I'm definitely not going to go, but I know.
Essential travel. Scoopsies.
Oh yeah, I guess I could just go just sit outside with my binoculars and a camera.
Oh my god, that creeper.
But I only know where it is because I know people who work like out of that facility, and like they've told me like, oh, like they've watched the show and they're like, oh yeah, I know, I've worked in this, I know exactly where that is. Which is, so they could have conceivably recorded a lot of stuff already there. It's definitely possible. I don't know if they were planning on doing more, or how much they've done up to this point, but yeah, I know where that's going on. I mean, it's pretty obvious, to be completely honest. Like, if you're from the area or even have any kind of sports knowledge, it's related to, like, you know, the big teams around here and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Stephen Bates says best podcast ever. You said that a few times, man. It's
Oh, thank you.
I really really thank you for that.
Yes.
Jill says Dash cracked that mofo right at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Yeah, he did. I'll pull that up actually. That was incredible.
That was the best Hall of Fame ever.
I think Fightful tweeted that recently. I think we pulled it up there.
That was crazy. Like, sorry, I'm getting knocks. I'm still doing it, honey. We're almost done. I can't let you in.
Oh, here we go.
I'm almost done. Daddy did. Yes. That's where he served.
Boom.
It was so good.
Dash leveled that guy.
He did.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat. Anything else you want us to cover before we get out of here?
Yeah, this has been fun. It'll be interesting. The future is bright for pro wrestling, and this just makes me want pro wrestling to be in front of fans even more. Obviously, I don't want to rush it because we want everyone to stay happy and healthy, but I really like pro wrestling when everything gets back to the new normal is going to be amazing. I really do think that there's going to be like a boom period for professional wrestling when all this is said and done.
I hope so. I mean, it's one of the few things that's like still even going at all right now. So maybe they'll pick up some new fans while there's like nothing else to watch. And then also, like we were talking about before, like just being able to go do something live again, like when like the crowd is going to be, the energy from the crowd, the first big wrestling show back is going to be, hopefully,
Awesome.
yeah, and hopefully it's well booked and well performed, and everybody has a good time and nobody complains about it, because it'll be great just to see it.
Right.
Ryan says, "How could that guy be so dumb to Dr. Brett like that?" Yeah, really dumb. But it was hilarious hearing MJF roast Brett out on AEW.
Yes, that was so good. That was awesome. And then I was at the StarCast when MJF was doing that panel. I was actually sitting next to MJF's dad. MJF's dad was sitting right next to me. He was so proud. It was really cute. When that guy came up with the shirt that said a certain wrestler that should not be named, and he like tore him off. He's like, "You need to go away." He said something, and he just like roasted that guy, and it was perfect. Scarlett, honey, I'm almost done.
Wait, was he wearing a Rabid Wolverine t-shirt? What was he wearing?
Yes, it said, it was like a Bullet Club shirt, but it said something club. And so he was like, with that shirt, you can go F right off or something like that. And he got like a standing ovation, MJF did. And that was the only time I've seen MJF as a babyface.
Right. That's so rough. That's so rough. Especially like Imagine like if like David Benoit was there and like saw that.
Oh man.
Because it's like he idolizes him so much still, but like the fans are so. I mean, we were so torn on him. You know,
Yeah.
like we love this guy as a. I mean, he was one of my favorite wrestlers ever, and then
Yeah.
I can't really say that anymore because can't. I can't endorse a guy who did what he did. You know, regardless of the. I know that like it wasn't him being him, but like at the end of the day, like he still was involved doing that. It's like I just feel
Yeah.
wrong like giving him praise, but
Yeah. It's just it's such a confliction for fans and for his son. I can't remember. Sorry if I'm laughing because my daughter is like.
no, it's okay.
But it is. It's one of those things where it's just like it was an unfortunate situation that MJF handled really well. My daughter is going full fiend right now.
Jill asks, Steven, do you like Jim and Nick's barbecue? That's a really, really random question. I'm surprised you even assume that I know what that is. I love that place. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been there plenty of times. And very good stuff. It got a bit overpriced, in my opinion. But I'm pretty, if I remember, it's been a while since I've been to one, but if I remember correctly, they have drive-throughs. So it kind of made it worth it for me where, like, I can get really good barbecue, but not have to, like, if I was just, like, just me, just want to get some barbecue with, like, without anyone else to, like, go to dinner or lunch or something with, it's like, I can just go pig out on barbecue and not have to sit there by myself. So I can just go through the drive-through, get that extra money and drive home.
Have you ever had Four Rivers barbecue here in Florida?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's in
I
Orlando.
I ate almost exclusively at Miller's Ale House when I lived.
I love Miller's Third Fingers. Yes.
Yeah, I got
Zingers.
the beer buckets were like cheap.
Yeah, they were like 5 for 25 or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You just get those beer buckets on ice, and they would do Jose Cuervo shots like warm,
Oh my god.
super cheap. So we just sit there and drink Jose Cuervo for
Oh my god.
$1 a shot or whatever, and then drink the beer buckets and
You can get lit there for pretty cheap.
yeah.
And
Well, 'cause-
that's saying something for iDrive.
right. Well, because that was the thing, we could just walk there from the Peabody, and then what became really dangerous was they put in a Dave and Buster's across the street from the
They
Peabody.
sure did.
And their bar was great. So like we'd go in there. I'd go in there after work. I'd just walk across the street, go to Dave and Buster's, and just get tanked at their bar and go play all the video games and just oh man, that was so much fun. This was like 10 years ago already, but
I God, that Dave and Buster's has been there for 10 years already. Wow.
give or take.
I remember when that just opened.
I think I moved from there in like 2012 or something. 2000.
Yeah, because it was like 2011, I think, when I moved. I was 2011 when I moved back, and so I do remember Dave and Buster's opening.
Good times. I'm a big fan of Dave and Buster's. I like their business model. Jill says, "LOL, a friend of mine manages one in East Cobb." I don't know have any ties to East Cobb, Jill. I'm sure I've mentioned where I live on this stream before.
I don't think so. I mean, you live in Georgia, Atlanta-ish.
Well, I'll just dox myself, I guess. Yeah, I grew up in East Cobb, so I don't currently live there, but I live close. Let me know which one. I'll go there. Like I'll start with your friends Jim and Nick's in East Cobb.
So funny.
Well, give me your full name. I'll tell them that you sent me, and hopefully you actually know someone, so that I'm not just rolling up to a random Jim and Nick's and like, "Hey, yeah, Jill sent me," and they're like,
Who's this
"What the fuck are
crazy
you
guy
talking
coming
about?
here?
You give me the $20 for the food and get the fuck out of here." Who's that? It's like there's an old Family Guy episode where Stewie like meets some stranger who like sees him like with like a dead body or something like that.
That's right.
Before the dude like leaves, he's like, "Oh, by the way, tell so and so, oh, wooga booga booga." And then
I
it's
love
like,
Family Guy. It got a little wild.
it's like, imagine just going up to a stranger, wooga booga booga, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Hold on a second.
Ryan
I'm
Romano.
gonna go let her in.
Yeah, go for it. Ryan Romano says, "I wish there was Dave and Buster's near me." Yeah, there's one pretty close to me currently, which is pretty great. If you're a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, they have a great episode about it's almost completely based around Dave and Buster's, and like their self-sustained economy with their power card, and one of the characters, Mac, is trying to use his power card at places outside of Dave & Buster's, like a credit card. Really funny stuff. Oh, and there's Scarlett back on the stream. Tell her, say something.
What?
She wants to see the Revival versus Young Bucks. Also, that's what.
Do you want to see the Revival versus the Young Bucks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Baby.
Baby who?
Baby Eminem.
Baby Eminem. You heard it here first.
Baby Eminem.
No, who's your favorite wrestler?
Who's Baby Eminem?
Turkey head.
Piggy Head. Okay. Do you like AJ Styles? No. Okay.
Wait, I thought wasn't AJ Styles like your favorite? Wait.
Yes, we
Yeah.
call it AJ Styles time because that's her favorite. So it was. So. Oh my goodness, you are wild. She's got like donut glaze all over her face.
Oh, nice. I like donuts also. Shout out to Matt Stoney here on YouTube, by the way. I don't know if anyone is aware of Matt Stoney. He's like the best competitive eater I've ever seen in my life. Like, this guy's incredible. And I watched him recently eat more donuts than anyone I ever thought could ever possibly consume ever. Like, it's
Really?
impressive. He's the best. Matt Stoney rules. Get the fuck out of here with all your jelly. I'm sorry.
I'm okay.
Eminem.
GTFO with all this Joey Chestnut's the best eater stuff. It's Matt Stoney, as far as I'm concerned.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting so bored with stuff that like now I'm dug into like the world of competitive eating as like
Oh my God.
a watch. Yeah.
What did I get into like lately? I've been like rewatching.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching old like really old YouTube videos. I started rewatching the iDubbbz obviously and Filthy Frank.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about that.
I watched or recently we watched the Filthy Frank video, the Weeaboos one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the best.
Oh
So
my God.
funny.
Oh.
Talking about people who buy katanas, but like it's so funny.
Is that the one where he's like, I think my neighbors definitely heard me?
Yeah, he's like yes, yes, you know, like yelling like a female anime character. What's funny about that too is I've seen some reaction videos where like Japanese people watch that video and like talk about it, and it's funny because his subtitles that he has on the screen when he's talking it's not what he's really saying. Like he's actually saying really messed up stuff throughout the video.
Oh, that's
like
so funny.
subtitles like let's get ready, let's have a good time, and he's like really saying like there's Jewish people locked in my closet and stuff like that. It's like super messed up stuff. Really funny. I'm Jewish, by the way. I was raised Jewish, by the way, so I can say that
Yes.
without being offensive. So just
That's right.
um
Right. We love all people.
yeah, of course. Jell says his buddy lives in Kennesaw. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know exactly where that is. So
I don't.
Brian Ruppel says hi Jess and hi Scarlett.
Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Just say hi. Okay. No, she don't want to say hi.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way. Wrong way. There you go.
If anyone has any last minute questions, comments, any more super chats you want to throw at us, once again to Steven, can't remember Steven's last name, but Steven who sent the super chat earlier.
Wait.
Steven Fate, yes. Thank you very much. If you're still in the chat, we appreciate it. And all the support, all the praise, very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Everybody who joined the chat today, we thank you for your time. We're just sitting here hanging out, and like we've said so many times, we don't advertise this stuff because we don't know really for sure until pretty close to us going live that we're even gonna go live. So like that's why it's always so last minute. But we appreciate like jumping in and being a part of it. But I'm willing to hang out here for a few more minutes, see if anything else comes through as far as the chat goes. Any thoughts, anything you want to talk about, Jessi, or a plug or any of that stuff?
Excuse me. Yeah. I do have an OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Jessie, JESSITHEBUCKEYE. That's the best way to support me directly, other than super chats on here. I also do have a Twitter, obviously. Same at Jessie the Buckeye, JESSITHEBUCKEYE. Why'd you just drop your lollipop? I do post random stuff, and you can see my journey to become Kenny Omega's best friend. Yes. So I'm hoping that Kenny Omega will become my best friend. That would be really great. I'd be so happy. So just follow me there for my wrestling reaction videos. Hey Yo Jamar, what is up? Those are the best ways to support me financially, other than super chats on here and watching this and sharing this and liking it. Like I said, we do like Steven said, we do come on here kind of randomly right now. Obviously after this all blows over, we will probably have a more solid schedule. But right now, since everyone's home and we don't really have anything to do, we're just kind of when there's news like there was today, it's good to go live. So yes.
It's funny because because of the nature of my work, like busy, I'm incredibly busy. When I'm not, I have nothing to do. So it's like my entire availability is based around if I'm editing videos for MMA on Point that week or not. So it's like usually I do 2 videos or so depending on which channel I'm doing it for. But it's one of those things where like when I've got videos to edit, I'm like unreachable. But then like days like today when I'm open, I could literally do this all day. Like I got nothing else really going on. I'm gonna pick up some food with my brother here in a little bit, and that's pretty much all I've got planned. So
Yes.
And Jamar, like Jessie said, hey, thank you for joining. We're getting a little bit kind of towards the end, unfortunately. If you have anything you want to say, Jamar, any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free before we get out of here. Stephen Faith says, see you guys soon. Support Jessie on OnlyFans. Yes, support Jessie on OnlyFans. And thank you for supporting us, Stephen. Make sure to give me a follow as well on Twitter. It's right underneath us, _. It's with that John Cena NWO. I'll probably change that soon, but so there's our stuff. Yeah, if you're into mixed martial arts, like I said, check out MMA on Point. We are more content than we ever have before right now. Just a ton of stuff going on. Jessie, do you want to plug Papa John's? I saw Jill just mention something about that.
Yes, Papa plug, Papa bless. I do still have a code with Papa John's Pizza. It's JESSI25, so Jessie25. You get 25% off your regular price online order through December 31st, 2020. You can use it up to like 100 times. It's valid in every single state in the United States. If you could really use that, it would super duper support me, and I would super duper appreciate it. It'll make people know that I am a good person to use and pay to help their company further in their business. And I think it also saves you money, because right now it's really important to save money any way we can. And so 25% off is a lot, I think. So I think that you could really use it, and that's kind of why I did it, because it's like, hey, who doesn't want to save money right now? So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. Maybe I need to try to get on that Papa John stuff. Papa Papa Stephen Bless. Maybe I'll have a talk with Papa John. But use that code. If you're gonna buy Papa John's, use Jessie25. There's no reason not to. You'll save money. It helps her. It's a win-win for everybody involved. Jamar asked, where do we think the rival's going to go? We talked about that at length during the show today. We both speculate AEW. Makes some sense.
It's a perfect fit.
Yep. Well, with that, and Ryan, take care, Jessie, Steven, Scarlett, and
you
chat.
too, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, you too.
Everybody, Steven, Jel, Jamar, Brian.
Me.
Who else?
And me.
And you, Scarlett. And you.
And Scarlett.
Yes.
You forgot to sign me.
I forgot to find you. There you are.
Nice. All right, well, I guess it's probably a good stopping point.
Right.
Appreciate everyone joining, like Jessie said, and try to do our best to, always subscribing to this channel is going to be the best way of knowing when these are going live. We put a link out on our Twitters as well, but if you're subscribed, you'll be notified and hit the bell, I guess, also, so you're double notified. and that helps out. Obviously, that helps us, and all the likes. If you give the video a thumbs up, it helps the algorithm. It helps the show out a lot. It helps the channel out. And it's actually nothing. It takes like 3 seconds. It's just really appreciated. Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph. What's
Merry
that?
Christmas.
Why did you say Merry
Is that what
Christmas?
that?
I don't know.
Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph.
DBR? Is that code?
I don't know. I feel like I should look it up now.
Hopefully we didn't just like initiate ourselves into the Illuminati or something.
Yeah, sorry. I need to.
Maybe
Oh
she
yeah.
was saying it.
Oh, okay. I was like so confused. But yeah, see y'all later. I don't know when we're gonna do this next. For all we know, it could be sometime tomorrow or sometime early in the week. Don't know yet. But subscribe, follow on Twitter, follow Jesse's OnlyFans, all that stuff.
All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.